My beautiful friends, I wanted to come on and do a reading today. I feel a bit of Phoenix energy coming on. So maybe you're going through a Phoenix moment, or maybe you've Phoenixed out of something. Anyway, I did a post this morning about a video I did yesterday that's a very vulnerable video. Always the dog hair. I haven't posted it yet. I am going to post it though, because I feel like someone needs to hear it, and I hope it helps at least one person. So it was a very hard, triggering video for me to do. It wasn't even a reading. And after I did it, I felt a lot of wounds resurface, and I felt a lot of pressure in my head. I don't know. I feel like there was a reason I did that reading. Anyway, I'm feeling better this morning. Now, hang on. All right, I took care of the dog hair situation. So I was hearing a spring breeze. I kept hearing it, a spring breeze. And it made me think of a card in this deck. So there's a card called Clean It Up, and it talks about a spring breeze. Or this reading could be connected to something that's coming in the spring. And spring is also connected to the energy of rebirth, and I mentioned phoenixing. So this is going to be a love reading, and we're going to see what Spirit wants you to know from this deck before we get to tarot. Because like I said, I kept hearing a spring breeze from the Clean It Up card. So I'm curious what Spirit wants you to know, or what this reading is even about. So let's get into it. We have message in a bottle. So it could be that there's some sort of communication coming in. We actually have building blocks on the bottom. So maybe you've been hoping to hear from someone about rebuilding a connection, or that Clean It Up card is about an honest conversation, but let's not count our chickens before they hatch. We have between worlds. So you could feel like you're in between worlds right now. It feels like, you're living in the present moment. This is Empress energy, and perhaps you're about to step into your power. But this is about living in the present moment, taking it one day at a time. All right, one more shuffle. We have here and now and soulmates. All right. So you could be dealing with a soul connection. That soulmate card talks about someone who you're connected to, who triggers all the things in you that you need to heal, so that you can release patterns, so that you can heal patterns. So it's possible that you're dealing with that type of connection. Death and rebirth. When I didn't mean to cut again. So let's see what Spirit wants you to know. Spirit, guide this love reading, please. This is a message for those who need to hear it the most, is what I'm hearing. Silly nose. So we have milk and honey, and we have unfinished symphony. So it feels like something could be unfinished between you and someone. Music could be symbolic. The song Bittersweet Symphony automatically came to my mind. And milk and honey can be about not holding back who you really are. So perhaps it's essential, if you're reconnecting with someone, that you be your authentic self and speak from an authentic place, not from a wounded place, not from a people-pleasing place. So let's get into it. Spirit, let's see what you have for us. Guide us into whatever this has to, love reading. Guide us in. I just saw April 14th could be symbolic. Okay. So we have the thinker. So you could be heavily on someone's mind right now. You could also be thinking about something here. It's 44, which is, that is an energy of protection. And we have happy, 26. So it is possible that you're trying to live in the present moment with this happy card. You could be focusing on good energy, high vibrations. You could be focusing on things. Remember that between worlds. You could be taking it one day at a time, focusing on things that make you happy, that fulfill you. As you heal, you do become happier. You become a more healed version of yourself. And then we have thinker. So I'm almost hearing like you've got, it's like I'm seeing this is you. And you've got someone thinking about you here. That's what Spirit's telling me. Let me look at this thinker card. Because maybe you're doing a lot of thinking about this person too, even though you're focusing on your happiness. 44, that is an energy of protection. So it's possible that this person, maybe this person had to go within and learn about themselves and heal before coming back to you. You could be dealing with someone who is an overthinker or is very logical, and maybe you're not. Maybe you're more intuitive, more emotionally attuned, I'm hearing. Oh. Okay, so I do feel like this person is thinking about you, but there's something else here that I think is relevant for you. I'm seeing this as you, right? This happy, happy card. And this thinker, you could be even wondering if you want this person back, this person who's thinking about you. You could be weighing the pros and cons of the connection you had. And if you are in a higher vibrational energy and you are healing, you could be in the energy where, you're looking back at the good times. You're looking back at the bad times. And maybe you feel like you've outgrown this connection a little. This could have been a connection that you tried to force to work by overgiving, by people pleasing, by not putting up boundaries. And it almost feels to me like you're looking into your future, thinking about, is this actually what I want anymore? If it's just going to be the way it was. Very interesting. So you could be weighing the pros and cons of whether you even want to take this person back. We've got Never Ending Story on the bottom, so that movie could be symbolic. 1984 could be symbolic. But maybe this feels like a cycle that just kept repeating. And you're thinking, is there even a future here? Let's get a few more. What else do we need to know, Spirit? So we have To the Sea, and that's about this card is about kind of surrendering control and seeing how things turn out. So I feel like you have surrendered control of this connection or this situation. It's 7, Chariot energy. So it kind of feels like you're focusing on your happiness. I feel like you've released the past version of this person. Maybe you did some sort of meditation where you pictured them on a dock and you were in the boat and you imagined drifting away and releasing them. Or they could have been in the boat and you could have untethered the rope from the dock and watched them sail away into the distance. You could have set an intention that I'm releasing this, and if it's for my highest good, it'll come back in a more healed energy. We also have Blessed. So you could be focusing on your blessings right now. I want to look at this Blessed card, number 22. 22. Okay. So it feels like you've released something. And this says you are moving towards a deepening of intimacy and a unique and sacred partnership. So this feels a little like a soul contract. You know you are meant to make this connection. This union, blessed by the divine, will bring transformation and beauty. This is also a sign that you're being called to a deeper intimacy with yourself in spirit. So you could have released this, right? And now you're working on a deeper intimacy with yourself in spirit, with your self-love. Sacred partnership, divine. Now, I want to be very clear about something. The reading I did yesterday, the one about someone who is becoming more self-aware but they hadn't healed yet. I do not condone keeping unhealthy people in your life, no matter who they are, no matter if they're blood, no matter if they're your best friend, no matter if they're your boss, no matter if they're your twin flame. I do not condone that, which is why I talk about coming into inner union with yourself so that you can call in what is truly aligned for you, whether that be your divine counterpart or not, whether that be a higher soul level soulmate or not. So it feels like right now you've kind of released this. And you could have a list that you've made. Shout out to Ross from Friends. You could have a list that you've made of pros and cons of the past version of this connection. Again, I'm seeing a lot of energy where you're focused on yourself. It's like solo energy. And we have yang on the bottom. Divine masculine energy. So you could be in the energy that if this person is meant to come in, they'll come in divine masculine energy. And let me be clear. Divine masculine energy means they wouldn't be being aggressive with you. They would be stepping up, taking the lead, taking accountability. A divine masculine will take accountability, will apologize if they're truly in divine masculine energy. They won't be defensive. They won't be aggressive because they'll want to protect you. I am grateful for the power of forgiveness. That is the affirmation that just popped down. So maybe you've even, forgiven this person energetically and released it. But again, the same way I'm saying you should never put up with less than you deserve or unhealthy treatment, counterpart or not. So it kind of feels like the ball is in their court. You could run into them serendipitously. Let's just see. A few more. I'm surprised that card didn't come out because I kept hearing that clean it up card. Maybe they're not ready. What else do we need to know about this? Yin. You. Divine feminine. Deep knowing. So clearly you have an intuitive connection with this person. Again, counterparts can talk about how, divine feminines talk about how they can see the higher version of their counterpart and they put up with less than they deserve for far too long because they can see what their higher self looks like. So I feel like you have a deep knowing about this. You could be very tapped into your intuition right now. Deep knowing. And it's 43, which is like Emperor, Empress energy, 4-3. It's also love you, and I do love you. I really do love you. Intuition, empathy. So you could be that divine feminine, that empath, which is what I was talking about in that post this morning about, I feel like I needed to warn you guys because you can see me being triggered in that reading, and I'm also not you can see, like, if you look at my eyes, you can see me going through everything, and you can see I'm in a very different energy than I usually am because it brought me back to that time. Anyway, there are occasions when you know deep in your heart and soul that that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. Your paths cross, and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone entered your life who will be instrumental in your journey, so pay attention. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition is correct about the person on your mind. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. So I feel like you're in this divine feminine energy. And again, this two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. That's about healing. That's about transformation. And I feel like this person has taught you lessons about yourself, to not accept less than you deserve by mistreating you. And they're meant to evolve into a more healed energy. And I think that until they do, you've sent it out to sea. And we have yin. I don't even need to look in the book. I know this card. So, we have here and now. This is beautiful. It's confirming everything I was hearing. We have here and now. So this card is about, you're no longer stuck in the past, right? You're no longer stuck in that situation or that dynamic. You're living fully in the present moment, one day at a time. You're in between worlds. This says past, this says future. You're in the present. So you're not overthinking about the future. You're not stuck in your past. You're living one day at a time. Maybe you're in recovery. Maybe you're in recovery from chasing this person or being codependently attached to this person. And then we have yin, which is your power lies focusing on yourself, not chasing. Your power lies in small gestures, soft awareness. Allow others to tell you who they are by their actions. And that's the thing, like maybe this person was telling you exactly how wounded they were through actions, but you, being an empath, right? So until they can show you through action that they're in that masculine energy, again, divine masculine would not want to hurt you. And I'm not saying if this person hurt you, they're not your twin flame. It means they were wounded. They were in their wounded, distorted energy. But a divine masculine, in their divine masculine energy, would not be aggressive with you. They would want to protect you instead of being the one to hurt you. So keep doing what you're doing. And again, I heard the ball's in this person's court. Focus on the present moment. It's really strange that card didn't come out. I'm going to see what advice Spirit has for what's coming, because one of these cards says magic is about to happen. So, let's see what that is. One more. Okay, so clearly you've been stuck. You've been stuck in a cycle with this person, round and round. And I think that you've freed yourself from that cycle. Not just a cycle with this person, a cycle that maybe you've been repeating in other connections in your life or other situations in your life. And I feel like you freed yourself from this cycle. We have by the book. And we have mending. So I knew there was something about mending or coming back together because I was seeing that clean it up card. So this card is about a reconnection, about a reconciliation. But you can't reconcile with someone who's still in the energy of hurting you. And you don't want to go backwards when you're working so hard on your healing. The song Stick Season by Noah, whatever his name is, started playing just a second ago. Hang on, I need the lyrics. All right. It's from the year 2022. That could be symbolic, I just heard. Stick Season by Noah Kahan. As you promised me that I was more than all the miles combined, you must have had a change of heart like halfway through the drive, 'cause your voice trailed off exactly as you passed my exit sign. You kept on driving straight and left our future to the right. That's so interesting. Okay, symbolism. With the chariot, I talk about this all the time. The chariot has a black and white horse pulling it. And I talk about how one of those can be the divine masculine and one of those can be the divine feminine. And I talk about how if it's not aligned, one of you will veer off, right? And this one, and I talk about moving in alignment. With the chariot moving into alignment, it's going straight. And this line, you kept on driving straight and left our future to the right. Hang on, those dogs, bark, 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 bark. So my point is maybe they were going off course. They weren't in alignment. And instead of following them off that path out of alignment, you kept going straight. Because there's a lot of energy here of you focused on the present moment, focused on yourself, moving into alignment. I just think that's magic. Now I'm stuck between my anger and the blame that I can't face. And memories are something even smoke and weed does not replace. And I'm terrified of weather because I see when it rains. Doc told me to travel, but there's COVID on the plains. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed. And it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas. And I'll dream each night of a version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now you're the tire tracks and one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half, but that will have to do. So I thought that if I piled something good on all my bad, that I could cancel out the darkness I inherited from Dad. No, I am no longer funny because I miss the way you laugh. You once called me forever, now you still can't call me back. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. Same chorus, right? And that'll have to do. My other half was you. I hope this pain's just passing through, but I doubt it. I won't reread the same paragraphs, but that's the song that started playing on my phone. There's a lot of symbolism in that song for this reading, I'm telling you, with the chariot. And you moving forward straight. You kept going straight instead of veering off out of alignment. I think they're done, but are they ever done? So this card is about understanding that people are who they are because of their upbringing, because of their experience up until now. But, like I was saying earlier, I talk about this all the time, how that's exactly why people are the way they are. And that song talked about how what I inherited from Dad, right? Childhood wounding, learned behaviors. And I'm sure as an empath, you do have compassion for where this person came from and their experience that led them to be however they were in this connection. But it does not mean that you have to chase them, or that you have to accept less than you deserve, or you have to allow them to hurt you, right? This card also always reminds me about the twin flame journey, about how you have to do things by the book. This is called By the Book, which is why I said that. But, there's certain things you have to go through on the twin flame journey in order to come into inner union with yourself. And I tell you guys all the time, it's not about union with them. It's about coming into union with yourself, coming into alignment with yourself, living in the highest version of yourself. Your mission, self-love. Union is icing on the cake. But maybe you thought you could skip stages, or maybe you thought you could hold this person's hand while they healed. Please be careful online. I don't talk badly about other light workers, ever. But please be careful online. There's some misinformation out there about twin flames, and I'm very protective of you all, as you know. Big sister Kelly. Don't fuck with my bestie. And sometimes I come across some misinformation that really, like people charging you thousands and thousands of dollars to heal your inner wounds and remove all your wounding, and you don't have to do anything. You just have to give them money. My partner said it reminded him of, I think he said evangelists, where it was like, send us money and we'll pray for you. Or people who are, again, I don't talk badly about other light workers. My guides told me that the stuff I was coming across, they weren't real light workers. Or be careful of people that you come across that say, I can help you come into union with your twin flame in 3 months. Be careful. Again, I'm protective of you, and I don't believe in talking down about other light workers. I never do. Real light workers lift each other up because we're here for the same mission. That's why I tell you, if you see a light worker bashing other readers or other light workers, that's a red flag. And I want to be clear that the thousands of dollars to remove wounding, that's not light working in my opinion, just my opinion. I could be wrong, but that comes from working on yourself. Anyway, and then we have mending, which is about putting a connection back together. But again, to put a connection back together, this person has to come in divine masculine energy, especially if you are in divine feminine energy. You don't want to go back into that Empress in reverse, that wounded feminine. It's not easy to become a divine feminine or to embody it. I mean, the journey to get there. When you're in divine feminine energy, it's beautiful. But it's not easy to get there. You can't just be like, oh, I'm in divine feminine energy. You have to go through the journey to get there. The lessons, the heartbreak, the wounding, the healing. Did I already say healing? And you don't want to go backwards. Mending. Forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. You've come to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you're to move forward. So even just holding on to resentment, right, and anger towards this person. That video I filmed last night was not about holding on to anger or resentment. I've forgiven those experiences in my life without an apology, and I've released them because I don't want them to hold me down. So if you're still holding on to resentment towards this person, it's really not worth your time and energy. Does it make you feel better? Does it affect them that you're resentful? No. They don't deserve, if somebody mistreats you, they don't deserve, don't give them what they want. Don't stay in resentment and hurt forever. Prove them wrong is what I'm hearing, and heal and evolve. And that resentment just keeps you tethered down. Maybe you're a phoenix who's trying to phoenix, but you have some resentment left, and it's like you have a chain on you preventing you from phoenixing. It makes sense. Separate or together, you and the other person are still experiencing the effects of a hurt that is impacting what you do, even if you're not aware of it. The energy needs to clear. What must you do to bridge this gap? Closing your heart is not the answer. You have the power to heal this wound. Ask yourself, what would love do? Only good will come of forgiveness and an honest redress. But again, you can love someone and they might still not be healthy for you until they change and grow. All right, tarot time. Tarot time. So I grabbed this deck. We've got the Six of Wands on the bottom, which is about maybe you're online or maybe you are just feeling very loved because you are seeing and loving yourself. You're no longer neglecting yourself. We also have the Empress. So maybe this person feels like, maybe they feel like they can't get to you. Or maybe you have boundaries up, because the Empress doesn't necessarily talk about boundaries. Although that's one of the lessons of the Divine Feminine. But this Empress card always speaks to me of someone who's growing into that Empress and has protection. So I really do feel like you're protecting your energy. I feel like you're being divinely protected as you evolve into this Empress from whoever this is. Well, your counterpart. Seven of Wands, you could have boundaries up. You definitely could have boundaries up. All right. So let's see what you, well, let's see what's going on here. What's going on here? This was a love that was not easy. I can see that. A love that maybe you feel like you can't let go of. All right, let's cut the deck. We've got the King of Coins, so you could be dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Oh my gosh, we have the Queen of Coins, counterpart energy. Doesn't matter your sign. You could both be working on your stability right now. And look at how that Queen of Pentacles is protecting their light. See that? And look at that King of Pentacles, like, damn, you look good. What is with that expression? What's he doing? I don't know. I'd like to get me some of that. And we have the Star. So I feel like you and this person triggered wounds that go deep. I'm hearing with the Pentacles, like that go deep into your wounds, into your roots, into your ancestral trauma, maybe generational trauma. Clearly counterpart energy with the King and Queen of Pentacles. You could both be the same element. So it could be earth, but it could also be fire. You could both be fire signs. You could both be air signs. You could both be water signs, but counterpart energy. And then with the Star, fated connection, meant to heal you. But the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like you are on your way to that divine feminine energy. This Queen of Pentacles has a moon over her third eye chakra. So you could be having a third eye awakening, or you could be tapping into your intuition, tapping into your inner strength. I feel like your healing is making you shine from the inside out. I'm just getting downloads about this card. I'll show it to you in a minute. But this is also an energy, like the body language on this card. She is protecting herself. She's protecting herself. All right. Let's see what we need to know about you. What do we need to know about you? All right, we've got the devil in reverse, so you're releasing codependency. I believe you are self-aware and healing. Healing codependency, healing addictions, maybe just self-aware about those addictions, moving towards healing them. But I feel like you've surrendered this, truly. We have the Five of Swords in reverse, so you're no longer self-sabotaging yourself. You're no longer confused. You're no longer in your mind, like maybe this person, mind games, maybe they caused a lot of self-doubt in you, but you're not there anymore. And you're no longer self-sabotaging yourself. Six of Cups, healing. I always talk about how the Five of Swords to me can be like the way we learn how to protect our wounded self. Sometimes that looks like defensiveness. Sometimes that looks like pushing people away. Sometimes that looks like chasing them. So I feel like you're healing childhood wounds that have caused you to self-sabotage or question yourself or accept less than you deserve. And you're releasing them. You know, it's funny because sometimes you feel like, oh, I've healed that. And then the smallest thing can kind of make you remember, oh, wait, I still have a scar from that. That's what happened to me yesterday. You know? For anyone who's worried about me after watching that reading, that is not my life anymore. For the first time in my life, I can say I'm happy with my life. I'm fulfilled. That doesn't mean that the scars aren't still there. Clearly, I was feeling those scars in that video I did yesterday, which I haven't posted yet. The reason I haven't posted it yet is because my fear of posting it is coming from a wound. A wound where I feel like I need to be silent. So the reason I haven't posted it yet is because I'm reflecting on that wound. I'm journaling about that wound. And then I'll post it. Because I don't want to live from that wound anymore. I feel like you don't want to live from your wounds anymore. You want to be free of them. And I think you are looking at this logically. That thinker card, King of Swords. I think that you would be open to communication because that sword is pointed up. So I think that you might even be open to communication with this person if they have become self-aware and healed childhood wounds and are no longer self-sabotaging and are ready to make amends with you. Otherwise, I'm like, no, go away. But this is also about having higher standards for yourself. So when we're in this wounded energy, I can feel my passion coming through. When we're in this wounded energy, we lower our standards. So the fact that this is here is telling me you have raised your standards. Good. I'm proud of you. And you know, people who have never been in that position, like, you know how some people will say, that sounds awful. Why didn't you just walk away? I would never accept that. They're in a more healed energy than we are. Or were. It can be hard to be in a situation where you feel like you can't walk away. But through healing and raising our standards, it gives us the power to walk away. Even the act of choosing yourself and walking away is empowering and helps you heal that wound. All right, let's see them. Let's see them. The person you're connected to. Okay, so we do have the three of Wands, so that's actually good. Hang on. A noise clip just started playing called Reflection. So I feel like your person is reflecting, thinking, right? That's what I was getting. The Lovers is underneath in reverse. So this person, 3 of Wands, they're thinking about their future. They are going through progress and growth. The Lovers, they're feeling disconnected from you because the Devil in reverse, you had the Devil in reverse. They have the Lovers in reverse, which is very interesting to me because it's almost like since you released attachment, obsession, whatever, over it, they feel disconnected from you energetically. But the Lovers card also in reverse talks about you need to take accountability and you're avoiding it. So this person knows they need to apologize. They know they need to come in. They know that if they come in, they need to show that they've grown. Page of Swords. They could be watching you. That 6 of Wands and the Empress and that Queen of Pentacles holding that light that's shining out. They could be watching you at work or online, or maybe you're doing your mission. I feel like this person is learning something here about themselves. We have the 10 of Wands. So they're starting to release some of these burdens. And I always talk about the burdens or baggage. There's this 10 of Wands card I have. I showed it to you the other day where it's somebody on a camel. And all over the camel's backs are all backs are all these bags. And that's the, like, when I see somebody who's wounded, I imagine them with, all of these suitcases that they're lugging around, invisible suitcases. I lug them around. That to me, like the 10 of Wands, speaks of the baggage you carry from childhood. The fact that this is in reverse, they are learning something about that baggage, and they're starting to put some of that baggage down. I have one more card here. What is it? What is it? The 7 of Swords in reverse. No more running. Does it mean that if they came in right now, it would be time to be with them? They're in page energy. I would say no. But again, I don't think you take them back anyway in this energy. Not until they show up in that Emperor energy. Nor should you. I feel like this person is finally starting to look at that baggage. Maybe they've started therapy. When I started therapy, that's what my therapist first said to me. Open up all those suitcases, Kelly. You've been carrying them around for so long. Let's just open them all up. And I was like, okay. I was totally afraid. I was like, I don't want to look in them. Glad I did now. That's your person's energy. It feels like they've stopped running. 7 of Swords in reverse, wanting to set the record straight. They know there's something they need to take accountability for. They know it. A divine masculine would take accountability, which shows me if there's still Lovers in reverse, avoiding taking accountability, they're not in masculine energy yet. All right. I want to see how you feel about them. April 11th could be symbolic. I keep getting April dates. April 14th, April 11th in this reading came through. High Priestess for how you feel about them. So you could feel like one of the meanings that I know of the High Priestess is deeply ingrained programming, behaviors learned from parents. Remember that by the book card, their experiences up until now. So you could feel like this person has deeply ingrained programming or wounding, lifelong ingrained, that blinds them, prevents them from seeing reality. I'm not calling them delusional. Not at all. You also feel like you have to guard your energy. High Priestess, silent and guarded. I feel like you're full of love and compassion for this person. That's textbook love, meaning you are full of love and compassion for this person, my little empaths. But you remain silent and guarded, protecting your energy, because intuitively you know it's not aligned with you. I get so into these readings. I get so energetically invested in them. Let's get one more for how you feel about them. You definitely could be twin flames. Look at these flames on this card and the mirrors. For how you feel about them. 8 of Swords. So I feel like you feel that this person has a lot of trauma that keeps them stuck. That this person could be, in victim mentality. The 8 of Swords is, someone who is trapped by swords, but if you take a closer look, there's nothing stopping them from getting out of the cage around them. That person could easily, none of the swords are pointed up. There's no danger. There's openings. But it's the limiting beliefs. It's the trauma. It's the overthinking that keeps them stuck. Even though they could free themselves by becoming more self-aware. Devil in reverse. This person could have caused you a lot of self-doubt and mistrust in yourself. How are they feeling about you? How are they feeling about you? 6 of Wands. You are shining, is what I'm hearing. You are shining. We have the 8 of Cups. So they feel like you walked away or that you're moving on. You're walking towards your fulfillment. Maybe you look happier now. You're no longer accepting less than you deserve. We have the Knight of Cups and we have the Ace of Cups for how they feel about you. So, clearly this person has romantic feelings for you. Clearly this person has... The Knight of Cups follows their intuition. So clearly this person feels intuitively strongly about you. They're having a breakthrough moment about you here. They're having a realization, an epiphany about why you walked away is what I'm hearing. If this person is learning about themselves and they're no longer running from the shadows that they were denying or the healing they needed to do to be with you, because again, it wasn't about your worth, it was about the healing they would need to do to be with you. And if this person is having an epiphany about how they treated you, they're thinking it's no wonder they walked away. I think that they think you're thriving, which you are. A couple more for how they feel about you, and then I'm gonna check on their energy. Yeah, missed opportunity. They let you slip through their fingers. 6 of Swords. They feel like you're moving on, I'm telling you. And we shouldn't... Sometimes people, when I say they think you're moving on, they can become afraid. I don't want them to think I'm moving on. Anyway, this person feels like you're moving on. And they've missed an opportunity. And maybe that's the wake-up call that they needed. And if you, truly don't want this person back, maybe stop watching readings about them. I'm not telling you what to do. You can do whatever you want. But I believe that just by watching this, if you truly don't want them back, you're still sending them energy. It's still keeping you tethered, is what I'm hearing. Let's see where someone said they loved that I asked this in yesterday's reading, so I'm going to ask it again. Now to be clear, I'm not seeing what I was seeing in yesterday's reading. This feels similar, right? But also different. And some readings will sound the same to you, but I can see the different collectives that I channel on different stages of the journey. But anyway, I want to ask, where are they on their healing journey right now? Where are they on their healing journey right now? If you want to think about it, like, I don't know why Spirit's giving me this as an example. But let's say, why are you giving me this as an example to explain something? I'm almost seeing it as you two, like, imagine having some kind of highly contagious virus, right? And it impacts your system. It breaks you down. It's really hard to get over. It makes you really sick. It debilitates you. Is Spirit saying debilitates? I don't know what that means. But anyway, I think I know what it means. And then imagine working on yourself to heal from that virus, starting to feel really good. And then this person, highly contagious virus, still has it, comes in and is like, do you want to hug and kiss me? And you're like, no, thank you. I don't want that virus. That's what I'm seeing. Like, Spirit's saying, you've worked to heal from this. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, are you sick? Do you have a virus? That's good. Healing. So they are healing. Doesn't mean it's the right time, but they are healing. And judgment in reverse. So this person still has some self-evaluating to do, little similar to yesterday. But they're full of self-doubt. They're not confident, which tells me they're not yet in Emperor energy, okay? So they are healing. So continue down your path. Don't pull right like that song said. Keep going. Keep going straight. Don't get off at that exit. It'll take you longer to get to where you're going if you get off on that exit. Because you're just going to have to get back on that highway again. Spirit makes me laugh. So look at this energy. This is all major arcana, okay? Devil in reverse, becoming more self-aware. Hanged man energy, getting new perspectives. They look more evolved than the person I did a reading for yesterday. They look more evolved than that collective. But what's missing here? The ability to make a decision. I feel like they're still judging themselves for how they treated you, which is something you go through when you realize you have a shadow or a wound or you've been hurting others, or even that you've been accepting less than you deserve. You judge yourself. Why did I do that? So I think that there's a lot of progress here, but they're still judging themselves very harshly. They're making huge changes, all major arcana, but they don't have the confidence to come in yet. What are you working on in your healing journey? What are you working on in your healing journey? 9 of Cups. So you could be working on fear of abandonment. You could be working on holding on to things that don't align with you, like not doing that. We have the Nine of Cups. So that right there shows me that you're working on your inner healing and that you've reached an energy. And how do you get to the Nine of Cups, which is inner fulfillment, or it's fulfillment? To me, it's about 9 is an independent number. So it's about being happy by yourself. It's about feeling fulfilled by yourself, enjoying your independence, being happy in your own company. And how do you get to the Nine of Cups? Sometimes, 8 of Cups, we have to walk away from something that's no longer aligned with us. We have to walk away from accepting less than we deserve. We have to walk away from someone we love to get to this Nine of Cups. So that's great that you're working on that. So you could be focusing like that. We were seeing that with the happy and the blessed. 4 of Cups. You're working on choosing happiness. Good. Having truth and clarity about this whole situation, about yourself, about you're choosing happiness. Maybe this person was your wish of fulfillment. Maybe you thought your happiness was being in union with them. Right now, you're choosing the things that make you happy in your life, which clearly isn't this person at the moment. So you're choosing the connections that feel fulfilling, situations that feel fulfilling. You're choosing happiness over attachment. I just heard, good on you, mate. That only comes through when someone from Australia's, right? Australia? Good on you, mate. Anyway. You're doing great. Now, I don't really want to look at this person's intentions and actions again. This feels more like an energy check. What do I want to ask then? We'll see what the future holds. That's what I said about that other deck. Let's see what's coming in the future. You don't need to poke into their intentions right now. What is coming in the future? What is coming in the future? So, we do have Hanged Man and the Devil. So we have 7 of Pentacles. So we have new perspectives. After a period of uncertainty, we have more self-awareness. We have the end of codependency, the end of unhealthy patterns. So if you do come back together, those same unhealthy patterns will have been healed. Will they still be triggered sometimes? Maybe. We have 7 of Pentacles. So you will see the rewards of your investment. I just heard for some of you, even if that's someone new. I feel like you're going to see a more self-aware version of this person. A new perspective. Them being more invested. 5 of Cups in reverse, making amends, healing from past wounds. Someone from your past rekindles your hope for a future. But with how far you've come, and what I said, I don't want you staying in an unhealthy situation. So if they don't come in showing you a new perspective, not the right time. It's not worth going backwards. But that's what I'm seeing in the future here. Keep doing you. Keep doing you. I just want to get a couple messages. I'm just going to cut the deck. Nothing. All right. I just want to get a couple of these. Shout out. Does anybody live in Jamaica? I'm wearing a Jamaica bracelet today. It says one love. Does anybody live in Jamaica? I'm curious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know why I'm counting. 7, 8. I don't know why I'm counting. All right, what do we got? I'll go with the ones upright or that I can see. Fragmentation. Until we make our shadows conscious, we will still continue to hurt others. Remember that deep knowing, deep alchemical process. So this person, you were both meant to trigger the wounds you have that keep you hurting yourselves and keep you hurting others. But I'm getting a very strong energy from this collective that it's not just about how, like this says, until we make our shadows conscious, we will still continue to hurt others. But for some reason, I'm getting the energy from this collective that it's not actually your fragmentation, I don't think, is how you hurt others. I think your fragmentation causes you to hurt yourself. Left on red. I'm not sure how to respond to your messages at times, so I go quiet. So they could have left you on red. You could have put up a boundary and they could have disappeared. Introverted. I know I don't say this enough, but I truly do love you. I also get with this card, that there's a transformation block in communication. Remember that Empress card. Do you really want to hear from them if they're judgment in reverse, full of self-doubt, unable to make a decision? Put up a sign. I just saw you with like a sign around your neck that says, I've gone for a break, come back in 25 minutes. Like when you go to, here at the mall, ever since COVID, they hire less staff because nobody goes to the mall anymore because everybody does everything online. So when you go to the mall, there's all these stores where they only have one person working. So if they want to take a break, they have to put a sign on the door that says, come back soon. I'm seeing you with a sign around you saying, I'm still working on myself, or I'm on my own journey. Come back in 5 minutes. Not literally 5 minutes. In love, loved you yesterday, love you still and always will. Priority. You are no longer a priority. I am making you you are no longer a priority. Jeez. You are no longer an option. I am making you a priority. Actions will match their words. Remember the yin card. Allow others' actions to tell you who they can be to you. So I feel like in the past, this person wasn't prioritizing you. If they were, this card wouldn't have come out. So when it's the right time, you'll see them prioritizing you. 7 of Pentacles, investing. Heartbreak, the wrong choice was made. Judgment in reverse. So they feel like they made the wrong choice. Now they sit in the pain of losing you. Heartbreak, where is my heart? Your heart's living their best life. Expect a miracle. Divine intervention is pushing the two of you together. Trust in the universe. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to force it. You're working on releasing it and choosing your own happiness. Perception. I was only able to see what I wanted to see. So they could have had, remember I said, because of long, deeply ingrained programming and wounding, their perception of this could have been way off. And that's when I said, I'm not saying they're delusional, but I feel like they had a blurred perception of what was happening here because their perception was coming from a very wounded place. I'm sorry for not seeing your worth. All right, well, one of you are eating and you're making me hungry. So I'm going to go eat something. Anyway, I love you guys a whole bunch, and I am sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Keep shining. Keep living your best life. Do it.